Right, so, apparently I've been invited onto the MDickie show. Whatever the shit that is. I, like many, find Jeremy Kyle and Jerry Springer like shows to be rather a guilty pleasure. I wouldn't say that they're good for you, and it's probably a bad idea to ever start getting into them because watching more than one a week is just depressing as fuck. But every now and then it's sometimes fun to just relax and watch two people who you have no respect for fight about something that you don't care about. It's kind of like watching the Colosseum in ancient Rome, and it's totally not a mark of our society crumbling. MDickie also had a similar belief towards these shows and decided that he wanted to make his own version of the show. But that wasn't even the beginning of his ambition. He wanted to make it into a video game. Now MDickie, as you may remember, was the guy who made the New Testament and Making of a Prophet, and a load of wrestling games and a couple of other things that I hope to cover in due time. However, he might have come up with the greatest concept for a video game of all fucking time with this one. The MDickie Show. Jeremy Kyle, the beat-em-up. This man is a fucking genius. So, this game is very similar in style and gameplay to the New Testament and Making of a Prophet, oddly enough. Except in this game, it's more like a backstage brawl in WWE. At a guess, I'd say it's a repurposed wrestling game of MDickie's, as he's made quite a few of those in the past. The game is structured around a moral choice system in which you move up and down a ladder depending on whether or not you've picked the good or bad option. I don't really like this or even think that it's necessary, but I'll explain why later. The way that each show typically works is that the player picks their side, and after there's a massive argument, the player gets up and beats the shit out of the other one. In the opening, you see these two guys debating as to whether or not MDickie is a good game developer, and then a sign drops on the guy who took MDickie's side. I don't know why MDickie saw as fit to punish the person defending his game over the other one who was trashing it, but maybe he's just a true believer in criticism and free speech, which could be the case actually. I've not heard of MDickie doing anything in regards to censoring criticism or anything twattish like that, so he's respectable on that ground, given that, you know, it's become quite a problem among certain indie developers at the moment. So you basically pick a side at this point, and I'm not really a fan of how you pick your side either. You see, you pick the side before seeing the debate, so you don't know what you're picking. I usually pick the side that I agreed with, just by accident, but they don't tell you anything about the debate itself, and you don't see the debate itself until you've picked your side. Morality is a very subjective thing, and you might agree with the bad guy on a few occasions and may want to pick him, but the game doesn't really allow you to make that decision once you've committed, and it's more like picking your character. This is fine, I guess, but it really could be better. I'm glad this game came out before these kind of shows just turned to shit into an hour of catch-ups. Honestly, if you watch daytime TV now, you just constantly get reminded of what you just watched. Can't Pay Will Take It Away is a show I've watched once or twice over the past 6 weeks that I've been off work, and given that I'm downstairs with my coffee and breakfast, and I'm not really in the mood to do anything else, it's a nice bit of brain rot to enjoy whilst I'm off and just relaxing in the morning. But the show isn't very good, and it's mainly down to the fact that it's a massive fucking waste of time. And I am fully aware that these shows were a massive fucking waste of time to begin with, but majority of this show is what has already happened being repeated to you. Like, I know that Fuckface is having his stuff taken away. That's the point of the show. Get on with it. They even repeat things that they've shown earlier on in the week, basically making it that 2 episodes show the exact same events along with new events to recycle shit. mere days after airing it as well. You can sometimes see the same story 3 times a week. Some shows like this even go as far as to mislead the audience in what is about to show up to keep their attention. Honestly, I'd recommend watching anything or doing anything else nowadays. It's just junk food for the brain, and I'd recommend porn over it at this point. At least you can learn something from porn, and you know that somebody's gonna get fucked in the end, and there aren't as many ads. Though I would recommend Mystery Diners because that shit's hilarious.
Dang it!
So my first story is this guy who's been dragged onto national television just to be fired. And of course, because he can't read the massive fucking letters up on the screen, he has to wait for his boss to deliver it to him vocally live on television, presumably national television. I think it's really a bit of a nitpick, but MDickie forgot to capitalise most of the I's here. I don't know why. He was oddly enough brought onto national television to be fired simply because he's been a 2-timing jackass with other companies. Which is, reasonable I guess if it's true. He's apparently been doing dodgy deals with the enemy in quotations. And so, as a result, the pink tank top dude dispenses justice.
If you can't have me, nobody can. Is that your deal? Well, you know what? I see you brought me out on TV. Hoping that I wouldn't make a big deal, hoping that I wouldn't make a scene. Well, you know what, you chose the wrong show for that. You see, the MDickie show is all about making a scene. It's all about justice and getting what's...
And wait, why is he wearing knee pads and wrestling attire? He's bullshitting, he was prepared for this. Oddly enough, the guy who sold his boss out is the good guy in this scenario. Maybe MDickie has an anti-corporate thing going on here. Who knows? The controls are the same as in New Testament and Making of a Prophet, but in all honesty, it's a little better than those games, as it's actually designed to be a brawler beat 'em up, and so it works like one. It's not perfect though, in fact, it's not really very good at all. I found myself furiously mashing keys to get myself to do anything, like I was playing a classic SmackDown game. I accidentally assaulted MDickie himself a few times after being helped by him, which, for the record, I am sorry for. I hate that I hurt such a visionary, my blind rage and confusion, but in truth, the real reason that I did this is that the targeting is fucked. I honestly couldn't find the manual targeting button and pretty much just had to keep moving in front of the person I wanted to hit whilst targeting another. I wasn't able to escape locking onto an enemy. The fight's cut short when I hit the wrong key. I think it's the escape key. But anyway, instead of pausing the game like I'd hoped, it sends me back to the menu without even asking me if that's what I want. Oh. Shit. Tonight on the MDickie Show, Ross does not have a clue.
Hi, I don't really know why I'm here.
Is Kylie going to get her man? Actually, I think Kylie might be the man.
If you don't want to marry me, then screw you, right? If I can't have you, nobody can.
Find out who will win in this battle of brain and heart.
I got a bottle of milk in my fridge that I've had a long relationship with.
On the MDickie Show.
Hello, John.
Hello, Kelly.
We are having fun doing police work.
Yes.
The weather is nice.
Yes.
We are both going to die someday.
Yes.
Have you heard about superfuneralplans.com?
No, I have not heard of superfuneralplans.com. I have been too busy learning how to talk naturally, like a real human.
Oh, well, superfuneralplans.com do the best deals for funerals, so that when you die, you can be buried and they will cover the costs.
Whoa. Kelly, that is some hot shit. I am so glad that you told me.
Yes, John, now, let us go back to being natural human creatures.
Yes, I agree.
Don't inconvenience your family with your demise. Call now or go on our website. I mean, you're retired, it's not like you're doing much else, is it? Previously on the MDickie Show, Ross didn't have a clue.
Hi, I don't really know why I'm here.
And Kylie wants her man.
If you don't want to marry me, then screw you, right? If I can't have you, nobody can.
Now see the underwhelming conclusion on
I got a bottle of milk in my fridge that I had a longer relationship with.
The MDickie Show. So we had a little fight, and in all honesty, I do have a few issues with the way that this game is played. For a start, every time you jump onto or drop off of the stage, you can drop the item in your hand by accident, and it's really annoying, to be honest. I also find it weird that the women in this look like men, as there's only one body type, kinda like Mortal Kombat, the original. To be fair, the women in New Testament looked a lot more feminine due to their feminine stance, but in this, they look more like guys in drag. I guess this was fixed in later years, but man is it distracting in this one. There are also combat enhancers that happen randomly, like the heated objects that do a fuck ton of damage, and a pissed mode where I think your attacks are stronger from the looks of it. Combining the two would probably make you very effective. I was fortunate enough to beat up my partner and thus win the respect of the bloodthirsty audience. Then I proceeded to punch MDickie in the fucking face. Upon winning the fight, you get a newspaper clipping, kinda like Hitman Blood Money. I've never seen the result of an episode of Jeremy Kyle put in a newspaper before, but maybe that's just me and my archaic thinking. So the next one is about video game violence. How fitting. So this Wankstain is preaching about how modern day entertainment is, not to his standards. It's kind of topical at the moment. You know, given that the White House has thrown the entire game industry under a bus so that they can protect their precious guns. I do sympathise for pro-gun lobbyists, as it is a fucking awful case when someone who has no idea what the fuck they're talking about tries to force legislation onto something that you like to save the skin of the thing that they like. For what it's worth, it's just a pathetic scapegoat that people over 40 who don't want to take the blame for anything or work to fix anything resort to, as it doesn't affect their core selection of voters, i.e. old fuckers. Honestly, if we're going to take a look at violence right now, I'd say the worst thing is soap operas. A few months back in the farm simulation show Emmerdale, a character was hit square in the face with an acid attack as the end result of a long feud with another family. I personally found this storyline irresponsible. For a start, the character who receives the severe burns was barely affected. He had a bit of mozzarella and tomato on his face, but that was about it. In fact, it went within a few weeks because of course it did. If you compare that to an actual acid attack victim, you'll quickly see the damage done is nowhere near as superficial. In fact, it's fucking life ruining, and putting it right can cost thousands of dollars and take hundreds of hours. Of course, this character gets a scab on his face, and little else. He doesn't go blind or lose any hair or have his ear fused to his face, like, you know, an acid attack victim. And he actually doesn't look any worse than I do if I forget to put Zinnerit on my face for a week. The storyline came out around the time that acid attacks were becoming a common solution to every gangster's problem. And I would like to take a moment to personally address anyone who has attempted to perform an acid attack or has successfully performed an acid attack by simply saying, kill yourself. Seriously. The world is much better off without you. Go into your shed and drink all of the acid you were planning on throwing into somebody's face. And don't stop until it's either all gone or you die. If you don't die, hang yourself or something because, well, fuck you. We don't need you anymore. Fuck off. Honestly, shit like this being handled so ineptly, where a character is merely mildly inconvenienced by something so damaging being broadcast before 9 PM and even being shown during daytime television when children of all ages can be exposed to it, is irresponsible and stupid, and it's far more damaging in my opinion than having Trevor waterboard a bloke with gasoline in an 18 rated game, which can only be viewed or legally owned by someone below the age of 18. A child could see Ross Barton getting acid thrown in his face by accident, by channel skipping after school, and the moral he'd learn is that it's no big deal, that the injuries are minimal at best, and the effects are really pretty short-lived. It's also worth adding that these are portrayed as real people. Again, comparing them to the criminals in Grand Theft Auto, they aren't portrayed as your everyday members of the general public, especially crazy characters like Trevor. They face consequences for their actions as well, which again is something that doesn't happen in these shows. Sure, it's not always the most realistic consequence, but there is at least cause and effect, as opposed to Emmerdale where characters can just literally get away with murder, kidnapping, arson, GBH, and whatever else they come up with, so long as it's plot convenient. That's just one show as well, by the way. There's at least 2 other big ones and several smaller soaps that have all done similar things at one point or another. Why don't we regulate them? Oh, because that would offend old people, the people who vote. If Emmerdale was on at 11 PM instead of 7 PM, like it fucking should be, Grandma wouldn't be able to stay up for it and she'd get mad and blame the ruddy government, and we can't have that. My point is that exposure to violence isn't exclusive to video games, and in all honesty, video games are limited in their portrayal of violence, due to graphical capabilities, as well as animation limitations. I mean, practical gore effects are always going to look a lot more real and a lot more horrendous to look at than, well, this. I'd also like to point out as well that some video games like Telltale's The Walking Dead actually show and teach its players how to be responsible gun owners.
These. First, don't be afraid of it. It's just a thing. Take it. But know where your finger is all the time, and don't put it on the trigger unless you want to hurt somebody.
Something that the NRA itself failed to do when it released this pathetic excuse of an app. I also find it funny that people say that these games train people. I've even heard the word virtual boot camp used. But I find it funny that, because the military actually tried to weaponize video games in the mid-2000s by giving a bunch of games away for free. The games were Area 51, The Suffering, and Rise and Fall Civilizations. Apparently, a game about conspiracies and how shitty the government and the army are is a great recruitment tool. Yeah, I don't get it either, but hey, they did give us Marilyn Manson in a pickle jar for free, so God bless you, USAF.
The endgame begins, Ethan Cole. Feast your eyes on this menagerie of decay and corruption. I am the bringer of death. This mechanical prison before you serves one purpose: to extract the virus from within me, used to corrupt your kind and mine. It is a potent weapon indeed.
Oddly enough though, this didn't seem to encourage many people to join the Air Force. It's almost like PC gamers aren't the best target for military recruitment. Who would have thunk it? Mind you, I think dropping a bunch of PC master race elitists into the Middle East, giving them a megaphone and encouraging them to talk about their PCs, might convince the terrorists to shoot themselves. They might have had a point actually. Sorry, I went on a tangent there, but well, there's not much to this game, so I might as well talk about related topics. So this exchange is kind of funny, as the dumb fuck says so many stupid things that it pisses off the gamer, and he attacks him, proving that video games don't turn us into killers, but idiotic uninformed opinions on them do. Unfortunately, this shit-sucking cum hoarder is the good guy in this scenario, so I have to help him win. I actually feel dirty after this fight. Again, this is another element of the moral choice aspect biting this game in the arse. It feels unnecessary to me, as this thing could have had some progression system that was either just 8 randomly generated fights where you pick the winner on startup, or you could have had a storyline like Shadow the Hedgehog. In that game you had multiple paths, and by picking the good and evil paths in each level, you went down a different path down the whole story. And you could mix and match and get different endings based on how devoted you were to either side. Basically, I think they could have done this a lot better. Coming up after the break, Transvestite Confessions. Wait, what? No! Oh, no, jeez. Can I not do this? Can I just... Driver 88 lost his friend to the other side.
You know, it's really scaring me. He's mincing around like some sort of transvestite. At first I thought it was funny. I thought he was having a bit of a laugh. But it turns out he's taking it real serious, and that's kind of disturbing.
It doesn't have to be this way. I don't like where it's going. Can I back out, please? Winston has discovered his feminine side.
For all intents and purposes, I am a damn woman.
No, please, don't make me do this. I just...
Jesus Christ, it's even worse than I thought.
My show deserves better than this. Just let me walk away.
That is disgraceful behavior. You know, we used to be great friends, great buddies. But, well, if you're gonna treat me like this, I'm gonna have to kick your ass.
See it on the MDickie show after the break. Oh, God.
My brother Riley for getting his pilot's license. Where the hell is that motherfucker?
To my father's black card, to my black card.
God, I haven't done Sambuca since I was 20 years old. Yeah! I'm the king of the world! Go. Did he fucking pass out? Hold the door! Yo, Jason, get in! Get in! They're crazy, Jay! I learned from the best! Yeah! Woo!
Previously on the MDickie show, Transvestite Confessions. No, please don't show it again. Driver 88 lost his friend to the other side.
You know, it's really scaring me. He's mincing around like some sort of transvestite. At first I thought it was funny. I thought he was having a bit of a laugh. But it turns out he's taking it real serious, and that's kind of disturbing.
Winston has discovered his feminine side.
For all intents and purposes, I am a damn woman.
No, I'm gonna be in so much trouble as it is. Please, just stop.
Jesus Christ, it's even worse than I thought.
We don't even need a recap. These people just saw this.
That is disgraceful behavior. You know, we used to be great friends, great buddies. But, well, if you're gonna treat me like this, I'm gonna have to kick your ass.
See it on the MDickie show. Oh God, they're gonna be posting about it on Tumblr already. Right, so I thankfully get to take the side of the trans person, which is pretty good. It seems that changing gender also gives her the power to move lamps with just her mind. Honestly, I don't get what the issue is here. All women look like men in this universe anyway. It hardly matters, but whatever. Now, you might be asking, is this tasteless? Well, if I can be honest, I'm not entirely sure. The reason I say that is that, well, they are considered to be the good guy in this scenario, and is Control proof picking the good path, and they do make fun of the other guy a lot due to him being portrayed as ignorant and stupid. Not to mention that this game came out when, well, there wasn't really much awareness in this regard in the media, and it was rare that it was seen in any form of positive or negative portrayal. Is this a good representation? No. Could it be worse? Yes. A lot worse. Can I move on, please? No. Well, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway. The next one is sibling rivalry, in which Whack Oz is a bit of a twat, and his brother Whack Axe is also a bit of a twat. Wait, hold on, Whack Axe is the guy who lost his job. So they are both twats. Great. So this one gets pretty hardcore as I smash him through a table and even find a lightsaber of sorts. Well, it's not exactly a lightsaber, but I think it's probably a leftover prop from Star Chaser or something. Whatever it is, I beat the shit out of someone with it and I'm not taking it back. The next one sees our old friend Ross return to deal with his stalker. Apparently, he follows him around and has decided to beat him up on national television to shake him. Man, Ross can't catch a break, he's always picking up crazy people. As someone who was cyberstalked for 6 years, I can relate. As you could probably tell, the gameplay itself is quite repetitious. I mean, there is a lot to do in it, you inflict damage in a number of different ways, but in truth, I find the game to be so repetitive. They do mix it up a bit by having an interruption run into the ring. I mean, on stage, but usually they just wander around aimlessly after doing so, and I'm not sure whose side they're on most of the time, so I just sort of end up attacking them regardless just to be safe. Anyway, Ross wins this round and finds himself the undisputed champion of the MDickie show. The next one is discrimination. I think you mean discrimination? Whatever. So this guy is mad at his boss.
Hello. I'm here today because I applied for a job with this man and he laughed at me.
Oh shit, it's John from Unknown City. So in all honesty, the villain kind of has a point in this one, and he's not even that bad of a guy to me. This man, who has a physical disability, applied for work as a bouncer and was rejected on grounds of him having, I think he has cerebral palsy? I don't know, it's the closest thing I've ever seen. He needs a text-to-speech translator and he walks huddled up with a limp. And the club owner even offers him the job if he wins the fight and proves that he can handle himself.
Oh, come on, you're having a laugh, ain't you? Oh, I don't reckon you can take me on, sunshine, eh? Well, I'll make you a deal. If you can knock me out right here now, I'll give you the job.
So, he's not that bad of a guy, surely. Whilst doing this fight, I accidentally lock onto the referee instead of the yellow bastard because I don't know, but it takes me ages to accidentally lock back onto my opponent again. MDickie thankfully does most of the fighting for me, the freaking glory hog. So I managed to drop this guy and
I got just about enough of it.
Who the fuck are you? Anyway, I win the fight and oh god, one out. One out. Right, so the next one is Police Force or Police Farce. This one has a guy come out onto the stage who is pissed off because the cops aren't doing their job. That sounds like normal police behaviour to me.
The reason I'm on today's show is because I was royally screwed by the police department. Earlier this week I was robbed. I was robbed blind. And, when I rang them up to report it, they told me to shove it up my ass. I just want to know what the world's coming to. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, I'm not a police officer, but I'm pretty sure that the standard procedure when a guy gets robbed is not to tell him shove it up his and that's exactly what I did, and I want to know why. I want to know what the thinking is behind treating me so badly. You want to know why we treat you so badly? Well, I'll tell you what. Everyone in the office wants to know how you dealt with this situation so badly. An inspector went round and she said she found you cowering in your bedroom, having your pants, hiding under the bed. That is not the right way to deal with a situation either. Is it too much to ask that you deal with these situations yourself? Now, come on, I did not my pants. That is a fallacy. That is a fabrication made up by the police department. To try and make me out to be the bad guy here.
I don't think pissing your pants makes you the bad guy. It actually makes you more of a victim and therefore more sympathetic. Right, so this random cop here is representing the boys in blue, rather than a commissioner or a politician who deals with these kind of allegations all the time. I see nothing wrong with this. So I get to satisfyingly beat the shit out of a cop in the name of all those poor bastards out there who weren't worthy of police time. Because you aren't Boots or some other tax-dodging shithouse rich company having to deal with a gang of peacefully protesting uni students, so fuck you. So I beat the officer up and move on to Friends of Mass Destruction with Tony and George. Oh lord. Amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. This is the part that dates this game, but in a wonderful way. I just love the stupidity of this. I mean, bravo, bravo. I actually think MDickie might be my favourite developer. Man, these two have some moves. I mean, check this display out and tell me that you aren't impressed. There are some complex moves in this, it seems, but I'm not all that sure how to do any of them. I'm so used to the New Testament that I just slap people and hit them with stuff. Sometimes I smash them through walls if I can get into position, but the more complex stuff is just beyond me, like the magic in New Testament. Anyway, the War of Independence, get it, because they're divs and they're fighting for independence, I think. Anyway, it's won by Britain for once. That's a first. We won a war against America. Ha! I told you arseholes that it was only a matter of time before I got my hands on your precious America and turned it into my true vision. A 2,091.83 mile wide Mr. Blobbyland. Oh yes. Next on the MDickie Show, out of the closet. Aw, fucking hell. Gay Dale is on high alert.
You see, he didn't want to kick my he wanted to kiss my
Driver 88 has a macho smoke screen.
I think you'll find there's only one in this studio, and it sure as hell ain't me.
Oh. Fuck.
You see, my idea of a good time is sitting around drinking beer, not messing around like some sort of...
Join us after the break for this show, which will be like no other. You say that for literally every show. You do realise that, right? Boy, your mate Jesus hasn't paid his taxes. He's going to prison until he does. Oh, great. Jesus has gone and got himself fucking arrested again. I haven't got any money. And, shit, I don't get paid until next month. What do I do? Ah, quick, think! You know, mate, you could just use QuickQuid and get the money loaned to you on short term. And it's only got a 1,270% APR, so you'll only be paying it back until you're 76. No, it's fine. I found a big bag of the stuff on the floor over here. Turn your money problems into money disasters with QuickQuid, because the best way to get yourself out of a hole is to dig deeper. Previously on the MDickie Show, out of the closet.
You see, my idea of a good time is sitting around drinking beer, not messing around like some sort of...
Gay Dale is on high alert.
You see, he didn't want to kick my he wanted to kiss my...
Join us for this thrilling episode of the MDickie Show. It's so thrilling that you had to waste like 2 to 3 minutes showing the same clips over and over again. Are you trying to hide the fact that it's not remotely thrilling at all? Is that why you've had to pad it out? Fucking daytime TV, I swear to Christ. So, this one is between a homophobe and his friend. The gay guy is pretty adamant that his gaydar is spot on when pointed at this butch man. For the record, I think this guy's gay too. So I beat the shit out of him with a stick of dynamite, which oddly enough explodes and knocks me on my arse. Who would have guessed? The final fight is the best, and we've saved it until last. God versus Satan. Unfortunately for me, and the whole show, this is where I turn traitor. You see, God and I, we have some unfinished business. Sure, Satan beat me to death, but where was God then? He didn't help me. He and his son left me to die. Then he went and threw his wrath at me, throwing those damn frogs on me in the Bible game, and I lost because of that. Then I was crucified and he didn't help me there either. He never protected me from the sky god, nor did he protect me from those hidden object games. Fuck you, God. God shall rest on the 7th day, cause I'm gonna break both his fucking legs.
Don't be alarmed, but this is God. In the 20th century, I gave you the gift of television, a means of communication by which my message could be spread to the whole world. Now, in the 21st century, I give you the gift of this show, a forum in which all conflicts are settled publicly and permanently. But of course, there is one conflict left outstanding. That's simply of heaven versus hell.
I gave you the gift of television. I gave you the gift of this show. I can't believe you idiots are still falling for this high and mighty bullshit. You know, this is the biggest con in the history of the universe. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, but don't swallow. You know, he's got all these rules on you. He's got you hopping from one foot to the other, trying to please him, and all the time he's laughing his off upstairs. But me, I give you the freedom to indulge all of your God-given desires.
Unfortunately, that set me back a bit. But it was worth it to punch the face of that narcissistic psycho. Not to mention that I was treated to this delectable scene where Secret Agent Tony Blair goes up against Molotov. MDickie. I want to say this, and I want it to come from the heart. Making Tony Blair a secret agent, that is the most brilliant fucking thing I've ever seen. God bless you, sir. Thank God for you. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a show to get to. I really don't want to do this, but I get 250 quid for appearing on the show, so might as well pretend to give a fuck. Coming up after the break, Professor Geo Curious is here to settle a score with a long-time rival. This wanker's held a grudge against me ever since my mate Loz made him homeless.
You're homeless!
However, the rival isn't done yet. Your idea of funny is just plain wrong. Your sickening show has been on for far too long. With special referee, former British Prime Minister and secret agent Tony Blair. Will this be the greatest battle of all time on the MDickie show? Greater than God versus Satan? Join us and find out. Actually, fuck the break. We'll skip right to it. So I'm on today's show because this wanker's held a grudge against me ever since my mate Loz made him homeless. Honestly, I feel like the joke of his character has been beaten into the ground, and I just want him to go away forever. So you admit to casting me out onto the street? Oh, I'm so glad that we had this meet. Your idea of funny is just plain wrong. Your sickening show has been on for far too long. Oh, fuck off. It's not like you're any better with your slapdash rhyming and your stupid costume. Why do you even wear that anyway? Do you have, like, problems or something? I honestly can't wait until I finally defeat you and never have to see you again, you stupid monkey fuck. Everything is your fault, you fashion disaster. Prepare to face this martial master. Come on then, you shower of shit! Get off me, Tony Blair! Stop sticking your nose where it's not your affair! Weak as always, idiot boy. Now face the wrath of my new toy. Ah, you prick! My eye! Bring it on, you shitload of fuck! Kill you. It kills me. The show doesn't decide when it's over, I do. Maybe you'll find a necrophile with some low standards.
Like you can talk, you pants. Who do you think you are, Richard LaRue? From this strife.
Fuck! Ow! I think I broke something besides the chair.
No. Avenge me, brother. I will, brother. Fair and true. Avenge me, brother. I will kill the fucker for you, brother. No!
I bet he takes bubble baths. Bubble bath? I'll give you a bubble bath. No, I don't mean I'll give you a bubble bath. I don't know what I mean, you've got me so mad.
Welche neugierige Paprischen.